New this morning, the court is one place where you'd expect everyone to be a straight arrow.
But an investigation by the Denver Post exposed allegations of misconduct at the highest levels. Denver Post reporter David Migoya joins us live. David, new this morning, the Colorado Judicial Department is pushing back on your story, but a whistleblower told you a multi-million-dollar contract was awarded to a woman to silence her claims of misconduct.
Yes, that's correct. Good morning. It's actually the first time state judicial has said anything about what it was we were investigating, and they were quite aware of it. So for them to now come out of the woodwork, so to speak, is it's not entirely surprising, but they certainly had opportunity to talk to us for many months. I've been working on this story for quite some time.
The state affords journalists access to documents through open records requests. Normally, that would help shine a light on issues, but the Judicial Department is pushing back in this case. How and why is that?
Because they don't operate under the Colorado Open Records Act. They have their own set of rules. While a lot of those rules mirror the Colorado Open Records Act, a fair number of those rules don't. So in this particular case, they have said that the memo in question, which outlines all the allegations that were going to be made public if they didn't give this former employee, if they continued to fire her, if she was going to sue and lay out all this information about judges, that memo was very critical to that request. And our efforts to get that memo have been futile. They just won't let us have it, and their rules allow them to say we can't have it, and that's been very, very difficult. So at the moment, I mean, it's hard for them to kind of put some weight behind a denial of the allegations when they won't release that memo.
I know that's very frustrating. So David, what's next? Your investigation suggests several sitting judges were named in that memo about misconduct.
That's true, and I don't know that we'll ever get the names of the judges. What's also unclear is whether or not we're talking about conduct that's never been brought before the Judicial Disciplinary Commission, or it's conduct that was brought before them and was dealt with. As we well know, any discipline of judges, except for when they're tossed off the bench, is kept secret. We never find out the names of the judges. We rarely find out any of the conduct. And in this case, it could well have been conduct that was handled in-house by this former employee who would have had knowledge of these things, or whether it was conduct that was brought before the commission. I think if this memo ever gets released, it more than likely would have the names of the judges redacted. What's to follow now, I think, is there's a lot of rumbling of investigation. Where that investigation is going to come from is still unclear. I'm not sure if we'll see a special investigator named, because we are dealing with the Supreme Court. We were going to sue for this memo, for instance, and then we realized that we'd be asking a sitting district judge in Denver to overrule the opinion of the Supreme Court, and that probably wouldn't work out too well.
Yeah, certainly frustrating to run into those barriers. Denver Post reporter David Migoya, we thank you for joining us this morning. Keep pushing for answers and truth.
Thank you. We certainly will.